What's up, guys? Welcome back to the podcast. I'm your host, LESKUZZY, and this is Nick 215, my co-host. We are back with Win Over Your Head. How you doing, my brother?
I'm vibing. I'm vibing. Another day, another dollar. Life is good and all that good stuff. How you doing?
I'm doing great, man. So, for anybody who this episode is coming a little bit late, or maybe late nighttime on Thursday or Friday morning, but uh, we've been busy with some more important stuff. I've been busy with more important stuff, so that's why it's coming out late. Uh, Now, you know what? Before we start, we because this is the last episode of the month, and me and Vinique, I think I told you that I'm thinking like changing the format on the pod
Mm-hmm.
and doing the so for everybody, the reason why I believe now is the best time to change the format on the pod is almost everybody has a podcast now. I think everybody has a podcast. Everybody is recapping stuff that's happening in the world. Everybody is recapping basketball games, football games, battle rap. Even though battle rap is not there, like popping right now, right? So I believe at this moment, I think we should start doing interview style podcasts. So I want to let y'all know this might be our very last episode when we recap stuff. Or we might do here and there recaps, but we're just gonna do it in like not every week because we might have a guest every other week, every week. It depends if we have a guest for that week. So, but we have a guest for next week, Monday, as we go back to our normal schedule. We have a guest for next week. We got my boy Taisir is coming by. He's musician. We're gonna talk to him a little bit. I don't.
Mm-hmm.
So he's coming over. We got. I think it. Then I think I need to reach out to somebody else. But Josh is willing to come back over. You know, on the pod for somebody who have for some of our viewers who have not heard. I think for the listeners, yeah, have not heard from Josh, but for our YouTube viewers, on our very first year we had Josh and Music on the Beats. He's a producer of most of his songs on the
Mm-hmm.
pod. Like it was right before we rebranded into One Over Your Head, and when we were like what Better Rap something, Wrap It Up podcast. Uh, so that was that was our thing, but I was just letting people know updates on what's going to happen. Now, the reason why we're doing that, I said because, and I think we need to, I believe now, quality over quantity, because we have done 2 years straight and some weeks straight. We just giving y'all straight content every week. If we missed a week, we made up for it with giving y'all 2 episodes in the following week. So technically, it covers for both weeks. So we have went what 52 weeks straight,
Yeah.
2 years in a
Yeah. Two
row.
years in a row. It's 104 episodes. Yeah. We
So,
put in
yeah,
work.
so, yeah.
We
So
put in work.
I think 2024. I believe as we as we we still
Some
wait.
enhancements coming for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah. We're gonna
Um.
work. We are still working on the studio. Maybe by January, by summertime, we might have a studio. Maybe we
Possibly April, May.
yeah.
April, May. I think it could definitely still happen.
Yeah, but so
Especially when
we
I get
just
my income tax back. Ooh, I'm gonna be rich out here. You mean? Wings on me,
man,
bro. Wings on
how
me.
how much you might get back, bro? Did you already did your
I might
taxes?
actually get something this year. No, I didn't do it yet.
I already did mine, but and I need a new job because man, I would have gotten a lot more. But all right, let's talk about it, man. So as that we covered that for like the first few minutes. All right, man. What's going on in the world? I'm hearing. Oh yeah. Uh, did you watch the 50 parts? Who did the F Mary series that's happening? That people have been talking about on TikTok, Instagram.
No.
All right. Now, people. I don't know if yeah. I watched. I didn't watch it. s- but I have the recaps. You know, people have recapped it, and so I understand what's going. So this is a series. There's this lady who went on TikTok, and she decided to start a series called "Who the F Did I Marry?" It's a 50-part series, and from what people have said, you said every part is over 10 minutes. So she made like a TV show. I think she should just make it as a TV show because people are invested in this. So she met this guy during COVID, right before lockdown, right?
Mm-hmm.
Met this guy. She was desperate. I think she met him in two different dating apps, but he used two different names. But she matched with him in two different apps, right? Met him. I think somehow within that compound of meeting each other, they moved. He moved in a house in within like 2 weeks or a month, right? They started dating. He said he worked he was a VP at a something company like a VP. He left the house every day at 6 a.m., came back at 4.
Mm-hmm.
Uh so so now then she got pregnant uh in the midst of dating this person, right? She got pregnant in the midst of dating this person, and they got married. That's because unfortunately she had a miscarriage. But boy, let the Carter version, he was a liar. He was a pathological liar. The guy was a liar. He wasn't a VP. Uh, he had some. The whole story is long. I think people, y'all need to go if y'all want to watch, because if I explain it, even though I haven't watched it, but I've seen people watch it and they've
Is this
explained it.
the lady that did 52 parts of like
Yes,
my husband is a liar or some shit?
yes, that's the
Uh,
series.
uh, I didn't see any parts of it.
I saw okay. I saw like then I started. I tried to start watching part one, and
Apparently, all of it was a lie though. They only used it to make more money to go on a trip, which
wait,
is
what that was all of
you
us
didn't see
alive.
that?
No,
Yeah, all of it was a lie. It was
that still took
just it
because
was
she just did
just
an
to get a trip.
update, and he also came out, but all of it was a lie. I didn't know that. Maybe you put me on something, but I know that
Yeah, I heard that was a lie.
because I heard that. Well, maybe it's from the guy because I heard that the guy is suing her. That's what I heard.
I was sue her ass too.
But let's be honest, the guy is stupid because she didn't actually say your name. She's called you legend. And let's be
Yeah, but
honest.
she said I was a liar and I was her husband. If anybody knows her husband, then
Well, not everybody knew who her husband was because they already got divorced. She said she got divorced, right? All right. So she did a 52 parts. The whole legend said he was a particular guy. He had like what? He had a bank, a Chase, he had an offshore account, this and that. Uh he promised he promised her to go to to the UK.
mm-hmm.
Uh he had promised her all these trips and everything, luxury, but come to find out, well, from what I heard, technically, now for the guy personally, he didn't lie, but he stole somebody's identity. He stole his brother's identity.
So he's stealing identities, and she lying about
I
all
don't
of it.
know. I don't know
And
because
ultimately, they just getting TikTok money.
wait a minute. Who wait? I didn't know that she lied. I'm going with what people are saying.
All I ever heard was that she was lying about the whole situation.
Maybe it was from the guy, but hold on. Y'all know what? We better go on TikTok. That's the good thing about
Cause
TikTok.
I don't even know what the two people look like. I just know
I
this
know the
thumbnail and this black lady. That's it. Like, but I don't really know like
I
actually
don't
put
know
a
what
face to it.
uh
Also, we could talk about the Umale concert, but
oh yeah.
I
Hold on,
mean, I
wait.
don't know. That's just
Hold
more
on.
of the same content. That should been going
That
everywhere.
if you or any friends know the family personally, Chris has a message for you. The captain is loose. The parents did everything they could to get Legion psychiatric help. At one point, they were taking him. Who the fuck did I marry? New update. Today is Monday, February 26, 2024. Earlier today, Legion's older brother, Chris, reached out to my friend, Tracy Tripp, an attorney here in Metro Atlanta. He called her firm to ask how he can get in contact with me. Tracy, being the friend that she is, basically had the attitude of, I don't know you. You're going to have to verify. Remember, trust, but verify. Okay. Chris did exactly that. On the phone, he verified, because I was on speakerphone when she called me, that he was in fact the older brother. I felt comfortable. I called him from my personal phone. I called him at 2:16 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. He and I spoke, and there were two things that he asked for me to clear up. Here it is. Number one, Legion's mother passed away first. His father passed away a few years later. It was at the father's funeral that Legion brought his ex-wife, and apparently there was an altercation of some kind between Legion and his older brother. They have not seen each other since the father's funeral. The information that I initially gave in my 50-part series was that they have not seen each other since the mother's funeral. So I want to clarify, they have not seen each other since the father's funeral. Oh. Secondly, Chris wanted me to also let you all know that their parents, though they are passed away, the parents did everything they could to get Legion psychiatric help. Oh, so Legion has been, from what I heard, from what she's saying, the brother is on her side, right? The brother of the Legion, right?
Okay.
So I didn't want to finish the whole story. I didn't try to even finish the first video of the 50 page series, right? I gonna lie, I didn't finish it. I literally stopped at the her introduction, and every time I clicked on the introduction and I stopped it. But all right, so she said the guy, the brother called her friend who's a attorney. I guess that's an attorney or somebody. I
Mm-hmm.
don't know how he got so, but trying to get in touch with Risa Tisa. That's her name on on TikTok, and the friend said, I don't know you. You gotta verify your identity. It's like, you know, it was more of like they didn't want to get they didn't want to get scammed like by by Legion again. Legion is still suing her, right? So the brother verified, and the brother said he wanted to get researchers had to kind of get things straight about the story. He said, first of all, their parents, both Legion and Chris, I guess in the story, the brother's name is Chris, right? Their parents passed away, but their mother passed away first. I guess in
Mm.
her original series, she said Chris and the brother and Legion didn't talk to each other since they have not talked to each other, spoken to each other since the mother's funeral. But the mother passed away first, and the father passed away. I think what a few years later, and apparently that's where Legion brought his ex-wife that the ex-wife, right? Uh, and the altercation. That's when, since the brother and Legion haven't talked since then, and I forgot the second part of this. What she wanted to clarify, but hold on, I forgot the second part of it. At one point, they were taking him to different therapists. Oh, the second part was that the before their parents, or during when while their parents were alive, Legion had the, I guess he has mental health issues. They tried to take him
Most people
psychiatry,
do.
you know. They tried to take him to psychiatrics and trying to take him to all these, get him help. And I guess it failed. But now, since you said, I don't think it was a lie, because the steps, well, is it a stepson? Yeah, the stepson of Legion came out on TikTok confirming that Legion is his the story that Risa was saying, that he was actually lying, that Legion was actually, he's a pathological liar and everything.
So how does
But
she marry a liar that
uh I think the issue came out. I think she caught on from, if you were if you I will not see her. She's not a. I don't want to get in trouble with people, but we got thick girls everywhere. She's not as. She's not. How can I say it in a nice way?
a
She's a
smart
thick.
person?
Not smart. I don't. I'm not like that. She's her body. I'm trying to describe her body. Right. She's a thick girl. That's
Mm.
how, very thick. And she has said, I think in a 50 part series, she said she hasn't dated nobody for years. So I guess she was desperate, because I think in the first part of this, in the first series where I stopped, she said, uh, she was, I guess she's like, when you look back at it now, I ignored all the red flags. All right. It's like, it's kind of funny now, since what I'm telling the story is that how many red flags I ignored when I was dating this person and how I got married. I think the married part was, for most people, I think they were about to get a kid, and I guess, how can I say, I think that's it. It expedited their marriage. I think they were talking about marriage. Plus,
Mm.
it's COVID, it's the pandemic. Let's be honest. Some of us got married in the pandemic too, but we know people for years. They met in the pandemic. Some of them,
So she married a psychopath in the pandemic, and
and she found
no,
out
she didn't
when
know
they were
anything about
about to buy a new house. They were moving out of her house. She already had a house,
it. Hmm.
but they were trying to move out from the house to get prepare for the baby, for more room. When she went, I guess he said he was going to work. s- I don't know where he worked. The man was he was punctual. He made sure he was out at 6 a.m. and back exactly at 4 p.m. That man was impeccable with his timing. I don't know where he went.
So he's probably cheating. That's easy.
So, but there wasn't. But if he was cheating, she would have found,
Well,
different.
why call him a liar if he ain't? He just lies
No,
about other shit. Like,
no, well, he kind of, because I don't think that I don't know if there was cheating involved, but it's like the when she caught on is one day he forgot his work phone, right?
and there was holes in it.
And she went through it. Well, the first is when they were going. I think the first part that she started getting the rev, like, how when the light bulb hit is like she went. They already had something that she needed his social security. He gave her a social security before,
Mm-hmm.
And then when I guess when they were getting married or stuff, getting their married thing, he gave her a social security. Then when they were buying a new house, they needed his social security because I guess he was paying for it. He was supposed to be paying for it, or they were trying to put their name on the list together on the like documents. And at first he refused. He was reluctant to give it a social security. Then he finally did. But when he did, he gave it a different social security number.
Mm.
And
So
she
he's two
caught,
different people.
yeah, yeah,
Okay.
he
All
used
right.
two different social security. So she caught on. So I guess she put that to the side. Then when she when he accidentally one day left his phone, his work phone, it was another personal phone. She found out that he had he had no money. Number one, the money. Then he found out because every time she said in the morning he used to talk on the phone, but he said he was talking to his brother. Then I guess on the work phone, she found out that he had money at an offshore account. He had a Chase bank account, and like it was a whole thing, a whole different scenario that like I go lie. Me explaining it because I didn't watch it is very difficult. But I think there's a if you guys go on TikTok, there's a guy, two guys who I think they are from Bastu. If they're not from Bastu, is I forgot what thing. They break it down. The other guy breaks it down very in detail what happened, right?
Mm-hmm.
Uh Now let's talk about the Omale, man. So what up,
All
man?
right. So the most interesting, which ain't really interesting, because we've been talking about this forever. This
Mm-hmm.
relationships, Kevin Samuels. Honestly, it's kind of it's kind of running its course. Like it's too much. But
Uh
so another relationship situation happens.
huh.
Let's say that you and your girl go to a concert, and at the concert, she
Yeah.
gets called up on stage.
Mm-hmm.
We went through this earlier last year. Felt like the same year, damn near. But last year,
It was Kiki Palmer.
Usher, yes, Usher brought up Kiki Palmer. Now the difference is Kiki Palmer's man was not there. Now let's put Kiki Palmer's man there,
Mm-hmm.
and let's let them dance right in front of him.
Oh wait, hold on. So let's so now let's get the story straight. First of all, Kiki Palmer man was not there on the Asher
Mm-hmm.
concert, and
Facts.
Kiki Palmer paid for the tickets, right?
Well,
And,
apparently this girl paid for the tickets too.
no.
It's
From
still
what?
it don't change nothing for me, but
No. Wait. From the story I heard, the guy paid for the tickets as a surprise for Valentine.
oh, that's crazy. Hold up, what?
So
Nah. I think she said she paid for the tickets.
no,
I ain't.
no. From what I from the people who know this guy is
He
it
paid
was
for them.
he paid for the tickets
That's
as
grimy.
a surprise for her as that they had a Valentine date, and on the Valentine he said I got a surprise, we going to a concert, and she didn't know which concert was. Then he showed the ticket, it was the Omale concert, right? uh so now let's get in we hypothetical now this girl, I think people in this now we're gonna talk about this, right? Everybody, we how can I say it? Some of us we in relationships, some of us are not.
Mm-hmm.
But now for this girl, right? So he paid for the concert. Number one, who's Omale? From what I researched and what I'm hearing from a lot of people, he's considered as a tier Afrobeat artist. I, to be honest, I'm African. and I only know two Afrobeats. I don't even know what's the difference between Afrobeats and African hip hop. I don't know which is Afrobeats. I didn't- That tells you how I'm confused because I only know if you say Afrobeats is songs that have traditional. I only know two people. If you're saying Benna Boy is Afrobeats and Davo or Davido is Afrobeats. That's it. That's the only two people I know.
I think it's just a bunch of different categories. It's kind of like if you say hip hop slash rap, which is the same thing, but then you say trap, and then you say
So, but I want. So, can
melodic. Like
somebody?
it's
Yes,
all the same
listen,
thing.
people. I'm African, but if you know me, I don't follow African music. I don't even. If Vinny knows this, I don't. I hate my own people sometimes. I've vocally said sometimes I don't like Africans.
I know more soca than Leslie.
Okay, now
I know
he's
more soca than you, bro.
he now he's just he that now when he's talking
How
about
you know
sport.
soca, but you don't know Afro beats and all that other
Oh,
stuff?
no, to be actually, he actually is right because I don't know
Yeah,
nothing.
yeah. You don't know nothing about voice. Yeah, yeah. It's okay. It's okay. You don't know
but we
nothing
were-
about voice. It's okay.
but when we come to to African hip hop, you can say you know shit about African hip hop more
Oh
than
no,
me.
I don't. I don't. I don't want to hear about y'all sounding like UK rappers and no, I'm cool.
No,
I'm cool.
not really. I think most African rappers that I listen to don't sound like UK rappers
Well,
because
some of them just do, man.
most of them were all. I think the biggest one I would put you on. I think we played him on the podcast. Nasty C. He sounds like American because he's influenced by American rappers. He's high. I think he has the most fan out of all the African rappers. I think he's the first African rapper who gained fans in America, like more fans in America as a rapper because his association with Ti
Mm.
and he's also signed to Def. I think Def Jam. Yeah, he's
Yeah.
signed, and then he's also signed. There are other rappers who are big that from back in the day, but they didn't gain the attraction in America as like unless it was with artists, but not the big name. Like one of them is Caspanyoverse, gained attraction in America for a little bit, but it was more of the game. Him and the game made a relationship. uh the other African rapper who had like well he technically speaking gained attraction because he was born in America, then he went back to South Africa. His name is Deleuze. So he sounds more of American because he was born in America, but
Mm.
he moved back, and so he has a little bit fans here. But I want to know exactly what's Afrobeat because is is Tyler Afrobeats?
Tyler.
Yeah, like the girl Tyler. Is she
Oh,
Afrobeat?
no. That song would be Damn, what would that song be? Well, I guess
I'm
so.
confused. I think because
Or what was it
is
NPM?
Afrobeats like a dancing type of song? What? Okay, you know what? We have
I
Google
don't
for
know.
this.
I don't know. Cause
What
I feel like they just be putting anything on anything now. Like everything is
Afro
everything.
beats? Like because all right, it's a okay. Afro beats is a mixture. Okay, so Afrobeat, not confused with Afrobeat or Afro swing. It's an umbrella term describe popular music from the West Africa and the diaspora. Its initial development in Nigeria, Ghana, and the UK in the 2000 and 2010. Afrobeat is less. It's a less of a style per se, or more of a description of fusion of sound following majorly out of Nigeria genders such as hifu, juju, music, high fly, Niger beats, among other. Okay, there are too many words in this. So Afrobeats is not.
He says too many words in this.
There's too many words. I'll go lie. I'm confused. There's too many words. So Afrobeats. So from what I'm getting it right, Afrobeat is not. Nah, people. Nah, I figured it out now. I figured it. Afrobeat is not. We should stop calling it Afrobeat. Just say it's Nigerian and Western Africa sounds. N- I understand it's too long, but you're confusing us with Afrobeat. Afrobeat is not for every gender. Africa is only for the West Africans. So that's Nigeria, that's Ghana, that's West African countries. If you're in the West African side of the continent, that's the Afrobeats is for you. That's your your genre of music. Not every not every single, how can I say, not every African, not everyone in the African continent is has Afrobeats. From what I read from Google and Wikipedia.
Yeah,
Now,
I don't think so. I don't know. It's too many sections. There's too much stuff going
yeah,
on.
because like there's sub Afrobeat, there's sub, they've subset genres, and one of them is called Azonto, and I thought Azonto was a song. I never thought it was a dance. I thought it was a song. I never thought it was an actual a
Most of the
genre of.
songs come with a dance though.
No, I thought the song, like they call it Azonto. I thought it was an actual. There's a song called Azonto, Azonto, Azonto. I thought it was a song. I never thought it was a genre of a song, its own genre. I thought it was just a song from 2010s because it got popular in the 2010s. Now, now let's get back to the story. So,
Umale, I think this is a label type thing. Because I think this is all marketing. Nobody knows who Umale is, at
me
least
too.
in America. But Americans are only talking about dating and relationships. So what
First
better
of all,
way than to make him seem like Usher and bring somebody on stage and have him do this?
plus,
I don't
plus
know
don't,
who this person is for her to be this excited.
but
So nobody
Well,
knows who this
don't
is.
forget they said Afrobeats is in the is between Nigeria, Ghana, and the UK. And
Yeah, so
Omale
it's probably
was
big right there. And she does sound
it.
like she's from the UK.
Well, they were in the UK. This concert was not in America;
Yeah,
it was in the
it was.
UK. So I guess he's big in the UK.
He's probably big there and it's not here. Obviously. Yeah.
So from what I saw from the video, Omale pointed this lady. The lady came on stage, and it was not like directly like how Asha was. There was a curtain on, so the curtain closed, and there was a
Hmm.
spotlight, and she was dancing on this man,
It was a little worse than Usher because she was doing more of the dancing.
and he was more singing.
Whereas though Usher was like a vibe, he was singing, he was serenading. It was a whole
Yeah,
thing.
it was a whole thing.
Now it's not the performer's fault.
Yeah, now
I
that's
don't
not
know
his.
where people was getting that from. It's not
That was
Mo's
not
fault.
his fault. He just picked a girl on the stage
Yeah.
just to
Like
dance, and he didn't know he was getting himself a crazy girl who was trying to get rid of him, her relationship, but she did it publicly.
um so after they put up that's fucked up. After that, I don't think she was. I don't think she was. I think she really don't think that she was in the wrong at all.
Did she
Uh,
finally come out with? I think she said she was coming out with the explanation video, but
she
what
did. It's
happened?
a horrible video. It's a very
It's
bad
on
video.
TikTok because
She didn't
she.
explain anything.
So what is?
If you want to pause and look at it, it's there. Just Google Umale girl and the apology and the concert is gonna come up.
Hold on, hold on, hold on. Omale,
It's terrible.
oh, hold on, man.
Mm-hmm.
Omale girl video.
Oh yeah, pause, and go ahead watch.
Hold on.
Y'all pause too. Y'all pause the video too. I said I was going to do story time and tell my side of the story because the amount of hate that I'm getting called all types of things that I've never even heard before. Like,
Okay, come on, get to the point.
keep coming and keep coming.
Get to the point.
So I do want to explain myself and address a few rumors as well.
Okay, before we even before you get it, why are your comments off? Before I even get into this whole video, why is their comments off?
Because she is getting backlash.
All
She is
right.
getting cooked.
Why is the addressing the Omale situation has a part? Why did you say part one? There's
No,
more parts.
keep watching because it took her about 45 minutes to say anything. Just keep watching. Go
I'm
ahead,
not
keep
standing
watching.
for 45 minutes to listen to it.
We should as a family. Let's go. Obviously, before I get started, I want to publicly apologize to him. Obviously, me and him have had private conversations where we spoke, but since it was public, I think the right thing for me to do is to publicly apologize to him. Like, that was bad, but it was honestly a mistake. If I knew this would like get this far, I wouldn't even.
Okay, I
She
think you
said
need
it
to.
was a mistake. Now you seen the video that I seen. It's more videos too, by the way. But you seen the video that I seen. Now I don't think she's wrong for going up on stage. I don't think that's a problem. I think
No,
the
no, wait,
problem
hold
lies
on.
when you start doing what you start doing on dude. We all know we're not children. We're not children, bro. We all know
Hey,
that's
everybody listen
crazy,
to the
bro.
podcast. This is why our podcast is explicit. That's why every episode there's an explicit an E for explicitity on the podcast. Our
I thought the E was for everyone. Look at me. Look at me. I'm getting school today. Getting
uh,
school today.
no, I'm talking on the podcast. That's if not for everybody. That means we are. So that means this
E for
podcast.
everyone, bro.
That's for the games, man. Hold on. Let me. But, let me get it. Let me get myself together. Let me hear what she's saying more.
I don't know because this is not worth the hate that I'm receiving. But yeah, since it was public, I want to publicly apologize to him. So yeah, let's just get straight into like the story. Pause it. Pause it. Pause it. I want to publicly apologize to him. So yeah, and then she just moves on. Fam, she said absolutely nothing to this nigga, and that's low key what makes it even funnier because it's like, yo, I feel bad for Bull because if you really watch the video, he did not think she was gonna go do that. He was proud. He was happy. If he did buy those tickets, he was happy. Like, yo, it was worth it because she got called on stage, all that other stuff. Man, it was worth it. Like, see my girl dancing, and and then you see the dance that she did, and it's a little. I don't know about that one. I don't know about that one, bro. I don't think you should have brought that dance out. I don't think you should have did that dance. When the baby says do your little dancey dance, I don't think that's the dance you should have pulled out. I don't, I don't think that's what everybody was waiting for.
Okay, so
Ah, man, I
so
don't think
number
that's what they
one,
was
she
waiting
said
for.
she wants to be. I think I think in her mind she thought she already apologized.
No, she probably did. Well, we don't know. So she probably did
No,
apologize to him, but
no, she said she already. Okay, now let's get back to because in the beginning she said her and him already talked privately,
yeah, she might have apologized, maybe.
and she apologized to him.
Okay. All
But
right.
she said the thing, because it was public, I wanted to, you know, to apologize public. Um, Unfortunately, there was no apology public. You just said you want to apologize publicly, but you didn't publicly apologize. You just repeated yourself 3 times
Mm-hmm.
saying you want to apologize publicly, and there was no public apology. Now let's
No,
get
no.
it.
She paused. She said, "I want to apologize to him publicly." So yeah, and she moved on. It was over. It was done. It was done, bro. She did what she had to do. May the force be with you.
Who's why are you asking us questions? You
I don't
already.
want to sound like them try hard podcasts, but honestly, it's way more funnier things than this. Like it's honestly like her apology is gold for real, for real. This is a top tier apology. Her and what's his name should go on an apology tour. Um what's the black boy that just got canceled from Disney? Um shit,
Who?
King. What is King's name, bro? What is
Oh,
Look, we don't even
we-
remember his name. That's crazy.
oh, Jonathan Major.
There you go. Her and
But
Jonathan Major should go on
why
there.
is Jonathan Major going on a public on a tour? He didn't apologize for
His
shit. He
apology is top tier. His If you really watch it, his apology is top tier, bro. He was getting busy.
Wait, who's that person? Who said that my name is Fafa? Why you first of all, I want to know why you asking us questions that like you think we're gonna respond to you. Your comments are blocked.
I don't know why she talk about money. I don't know why she asking questions. She told Kai Sinet that he need to give her bread. Fam,
No, we don't care if your name is Jesse, if your name is Jasani, if your name is Jombani, Jabali. Can you get to the point?
she don't care, bro.
Who told you that as well? Who said he's the one that bought the tickets? It was me. I'm the one that bought the tickets. I wanted me to have a good time because
She said she was the one that bought the tickets.
Like,
I
so
don't
who's
know if it's
lying?
true or not. I don't know if it's true or not. And
Who's
honestly,
lying?
that don't even really matter in the big long like in the landscape.
Who?
Because if you didn't do what you did behind that curtain, we wouldn't have to talk about this. All you had to do was a simple dance. All you had to do was whine. There's nothing wrong with whining. I mean, Americans would have thought it was something, but there's nothing wrong with whining, bro. I don't know what she was doing, bro.
This is a good thing to do. Let me just take our man to a concert. Let's have fun. Like that's it. There's nothing wrong. So now, so hold on. Let me get this shit straight. So
Hmm.
you say you bought the tickets because
Yep.
this was a good thing to take my man. So why did you go up on that stage and acted a fool when you
No,
knew
it's
your man?
No, it's even funnier because you don't know about the follow up tweet. See, Umale, his peoples got in front of it and said, "Yo, I asked her on stage, does she have a man? I wouldn't have brought her on stage if she had a man. That's not my style, fam, fam. When I tell you her joint, yo, her apology, her fake apology is a gem, bro. It's the greatest apology of all time. I it's amazing. It's like
That just tells you a lot because us women, we can do things as well. Like if you want to take my man out, I take my man out. So yeah, like I said, it was me. Anyways, also me and him, like we've had private conversations about going on stage with Emily because he does this. What the hell? I, I'm okay. You know what? I'm not. Hopefully, there's no more past. If you really know Emily, you know that. No, I don't. This is my first time hearing about Omalane. This is literally what you are. That is nothing new. Okay, can we get to the point of you getting to this goddamn story? If I was to get called on stage, I'm going to go on stage. And he said that's fine. Like he's been saying that's fine. Like me and him never ever had an issue with me going on stage. Even when the time came, like I think there was a video where people were saying like I was moving away from him, like I was.
pushing him away. Like, no. Like, Emily literally looked at me and said, "You said I want to get this." So obviously, I just got really excited because Emily is like one of my favorite artists. I don't care what anybody says. Like, you all have favorite artists. I didn't want to hear that. Like, so
Okay, God.
he's mine. So obviously, he's my favorite artist, not mine. So obviously, I got really excited. I was just genuinely happy. And obviously, when I moved to the side, that was when he asked me to go on stage. I was just waiting for obviously the security to get me out of the crowd. That's why I was even stood there. Hi everyone.
Wait, she got. Nope, I'm not watching that.
Now I don't
I,
know about multiple parts. I only know about part one. And if part one is comedy, I know the rest is comedy.
I'm not.
But
What? Wait, she did. Wait. Wait a
she did
minute.
multiple
Hold on.
parts. Yup, she about to get famous. Yup, it's
Wait a
coming.
minute.
It's
Wait a
coming.
minute. Hold on. Wait a minute.
Umale
So
Rock.
you did two parts of this fucking situation in two
It might.
different days.
It might be three.
What the hell are we? What? Why did you
Yeah,
not just address it at once?
you know she did her makeup, put lashes on, and turned on that camera. Attention is
Bro,
crazy, bro. It's not that serious. It's not
fame,
that
bro.
serious.
Fame
Fame is
is
a hell of a drug.
a drug, bro. What? I'm confused. Why did you not address this whole situation at one day and just nibble it? But I understand, TikTok. I blame TikTok. I blame TikTok, and I blame people who founded TikTok because she had like a good following, but she was not that. Y'all made her famous. Now she's getting money because what she got? Oh, she bet.
No,
At
she might
least
not be getting no money. She
no.
probably not
Hey,
getting
yeah.
money to be honest.
Wait, where's the main account? Because she had a main account and it kind of some I don't know what happened to it. It had like 30 because it had like 30 what 30K followers overnight. She gained like 30K followers overnight because people are following this girl. No, now let's talk about this. I'm not even addressing. I'm not watching part two. I'm sorry. Part one was too much to watch because she even didn't get to the point. I
No,
don't know.
part.
I didn't. She didn't get to the goddamn point.
No, who
I
needs
don't.
her to get to the point? Why would you ever get to the point? Like, why does that matter?
I want her to get to the point so I understand what the point. What do we recite? But
Nah,
she
bro.
didn't
She
get to the.
addressing the haters, bro. She addressing the haters.
And what type of
It's
hater
like,
she dressed?
why? My name is really Christine. Like, I don't. We don't care what your name
My
is. It's not
what? Who's
important.
Fefe? Who's Fefe? Who's Fefe? I told him twice. My name is Jazz. He also Omale does this on his concert. He picks people out of the.
None of us are
We
big fans of dude, bro. We
we
don't
didn't
know
even know
dude.
dude who I didn't. We didn't even know who dude was. Like
We didn't know
so.
dude. We're not worried about dude. What we worried
I don't
about
think
is
the
why you
dude.
went up there and act like that.
We didn't. I don't think even nobody knew dude in America. Like, has he ever had a concert in America? Because if he has, I don't think he's selling out like he did in the UK. So we
Listen,
don't
we
need.
don't know who your boyfriend is. We don't know who
Hey man, your
Umale is.
boyfriend. I go lie. Your boyfriend. He's cool people, man. That man is making money. He just got a deal. He got an underway deal. He's getting brand deal. Man,
He got an underwear deal. All right, now the
he's a
fake
brand.
storylines going crazy.
I don't know who. I know Kai
Underwear.
got. I think Kai kind of hooked him up with the underwear brand in the UK.
Now, if he wound up famous because a shorty left him, that's the biggest glow up of all
Bro,
time, bro.
that boy that nigga is already famous. He
But
was on
what's
the 20V.
crazy is if
That
shorty.
nigga was in the 20V1 with Kai. He had Kai, bro. That nigga was with
Oh
Kai,
yeah,
bro,
he got him a girl. Oh yeah, I remember that. Kai got him a girl, whatever. That's funny as shit.
and got him a brand deals. He
Yeah.
even got him brand deals. He even told. He said, I'm gonna. He's like, I'm doing like his. I think Kai's about. He's going out. He went out the country He said, I might come to the UK, because Kai has peoples in the UK. But he's right now. Kai is in Taiwan. He said he's going to Africa too. Kai he's traveling. So Kai, he got him brand deals. He's like, he got him brand. Kai said, I already got him brand deals in the UK. He's about to be famous, man. The dude, man. All right. So wait a minute. Wait a minute. So you said you had a conversation about you going on every, like, if Omale called you on stage, y'all were going on stage, right? I think the conversation, you say you will go on stage. We didn't talk about how you gonna act on goddamn stage. I think that's the part of the conversation
The
we
funny is
needed to.
nobody's worried about you going on stage. I don't even think he's worried. Nobody cares about that. If you
We
paid that much for tickets, you front row, all that good stuff, yeah, go on stage. The problem is what you did behind that curtain.
Yeah, that's the problem. You don't get why you're getting hate. You
Dog.
think you think you're getting hate because you went on stage. No, you getting hate because you went on that stage and acted a goddamn fool.
That's the whole issue. So her trying to
We
talk about it and talk around it for 5 minutes is hilarious. But
now
yeah.
Now this is not even, man. Hold on, we touching on relationship. This podcast is we touching on everybody's relationship. Uh, so we got another relationship that's in shambles, but this one is tragic. It's tragic. Boaris from YouTube. Big
Boatis?
Boaris. He's like a big Suns fan. He does vlogs. His friend,
The
Face
son, yeah,
Rag.
the son, FaZe Rug is his brother.
Yeah, his brother. My man is going through it, man.
He out here
So
relationship with his. They
with
look
his,
they look good.
not his ex girl, but his,
Oh, he got a
well,
different
now,
girl. Oh shit.
not the other girl that was on. Wait, not the girl that was doing vlogs with him, like years ago, but his current girl for a year now.
Mm-hmm.
Not the girl that kind of blew up with him. No, not the girl that blew up with him when when he first blew up. Not the girlfriend that blew up with him, like the one that did a surprise Devin Booker coming to his house. Not that girlfriend.
Mm-hmm.
But they've broken up for years now, but they're still
Aw,
friends.
shout out to her.
Yeah, because they're still friends. They kind of chit chat. They're broken up and they were still friends. But the day he decided, how when you broke up, but you're trying to figure out your whole, everything. But she wanted to get back together and he wasn't ready yet. And when he finally was ready, she had like kind of moved she was talking to somebody. So it was a whole situation. But last year, because he was single for a while, last year he met a girl, right? I think I wouldn't say last year because that's where I found out about this girl. So last year he met a girl. uh he had moved it into the house, everything. So on Sunday, this I'm telling you where I found out. I think everyone found out this on Sunday. On Sunday, I wake up, right, getting ready for church early in the morning. I think he had done a live. So people, if you were up like at 5 a.m., 7 a.m., you'd have watched his live. But I was not up that time. I was still sleeping. So I caught it. He posted a live after he went off live. He kind of shared it on his post. So I caught the live, right? I caught the gist of the live. Come to find out, his girlfriend has been cheating on him with the ex,
Damn.
right? Uh, and it was he didn't he's like somebody. He's like, how when your homies are telling you about it, but you ignore. Because I kind of saw a sign, because it's really difficult for him, between him and Face Rock, right? It's very difficult for them to do videos without including their parents.
Not
right?
really, but I
Not,
mean
but no,
they're embedded in the content, so it's
yeah,
there now.
yeah. Plus, also, I'm not saying difficult, but it's most of, especially him. He uses it like his parents are more like, I think his parents kind of they're like more on his channel than he is. Like most of his videos is him and his mom, him and his dad, or him and his family just being family. Even the same with First Rock. When First Rock does like vlogs, it's between him and his brother, him on his family and this. But when he started dating this girl, you kind of you saw a difference in the channel where he's no longer going to his parents' house as much, or his parents are not coming over to his house because he had moved into the house that he had after his house that he was mentioned when he finally moved out for like they if you watch Boraris and Phase Rank, they do this when they move out, they move back to their parents' house, they move out again, they move back to their parents' house. But this
Mm,
time when they finally moved out, both Boras and Phase Rank kind of moved out, got their own different mansions, right? And you kind of saw a difference because even though he was kind of moved out. Every time he moved out, he still visited his parents, he still went to his parents' house, everything. You kind of saw a difference because he
mm,
started going to his parents' house. He started doing content more like content wise, not his usual content, but like content like how Face Rag does his content, like different type of videos, challenges, and everything, right? So people didn't know what was going on, and he kind of covered. I think he was covering for his girlfriend sometimes, right? But when I guess on Saturday he could not cover for her no more. So he went on Instagram Live and he said, I don't care if y'all watching me, I just gotta get it off my chest. He's like, what time it is? He's there in Santiago, so it was like 4 a.m. when he was doing the live. So he said it's 4 a.m. I just found out that Jess has been cheating on me. So I should not say the name, but god damn it, his ex now has been cheating on him
mm.
with the ex-boyfriend, the boyfriend before she met Bowaris, for the whole entire relationship. And he said, I was already trying to make. He's like, I was gonna make the video of that me and this girl broke up, right? Because I guess they broke up after Valentine's. He said I was gonna make a video of that me and her broke up, and we chose to go separate ways because they have done that video before, like a few months ago when they broke up for like 3 weeks, and he went and he kind of did like a breakup video saying that they went separate ways. Then 3 weeks, I think months later, but they came out and said we are back together because people kind of saw on his on his story on Instagram that she was kind of in the picture again. So they started chastising him. He's like, are you back together? Are you not? And he did a video saying, yes, we are back, but we are trying to keep it private, like
Mm.
off camera. So they started doing videos again. I guess they broke up after Valentine's. He did this whole Valentine's thing. After Valentine's, I guess a few days after that, they broke up, and it was more of he had speculations because he said people were telling him it was going on, but he really didn't know for sure it was happening. But he's like, but when they broke up, he was or he's like, I had already prepared my video of like trying to cover for her. Then somebody who knows the ex-boyfriend sent him the text messages,
Damn.
and he went nuts. Like he went crazy. He's like, you a cheater, you a this. I'm not covering for you. I'm not covering for this girl. He called out her sister, saying that you covered for your sister while you have your own room in my house. My house that I built, I paid for. You had your own room and you covering for your sister. Fuck y'all, fuck this, that. She comes out, she went on Instagram, right? She goes on Instagram at first, right? Tries to do it live, but while she was doing it live, you know how when somebody already called you out, and you know how people when somebody who's famous already before you were famous call you out, you lose fans because you were in a relationship. You getting their fans,
Mm.
right? Most of his fans were unfollowing her as a split second. So she, from Boware's point of view, she deactivated her Instagram so that she doesn't lose more fans, followers on Instagram. So she went on TikTok and she did a live on TikTok saying that he was abusive. He, I don't know if the recording was true. He's like, he was abusive. He beat on me and everything. You said something, crazy thing. I think she thought that her crazy thing is like, oh, he's always said his ex girlfriend cheated on him, and people saying, no, he has never said that. He's like, he has never said, oh, his ex girl cheated on him. He has never said nothing about his ex girl cheating on him. He's like, we know his ex girlfriend. He's like, what you talking about? The whole world knows his ex girlfriend because they are still friends.
And they blew up together. So
Yeah, they
that's
blew
kind
up
of crazy
together.
to just put that on somebody.
Yeah, it's like he every time he talk about his ex, he always puts some respect on her name. Plus, the co-parent one, they used to co-parent their dog because they got the dog together. But when he finally got into this relationship, I think they kind of stopped talking because he was trying to respect her, right?
Mm.
So I guess the dog part of co-parenting kind of went away for like because he was in a relationship with this girl. So he's like, oh, she said, oh yeah, he abused me, he beat me up. There's the photos of her bleeding from I don't her bloody flow from her body. And Boaz is kind of like, nope, cat. Let me give you proof. This is the proof of the photos. He showed the photos that showed the world, right? He's like, here's the proof. She said these photos were for my dog. When I was out of town, she was staying in my house. My dog accidentally, you said my dog somehow beat her. Accidentally, he said accidentally. He's like, that's not, I'm not trying to say that's right and all wrong, but she kind of lied on my name, right?
Mm.
He's like,
She
this is
definitely
the
lied
photo.
on your name. You can't.
he's like, my dog beat her. Uh, this is the proof. A text message telling me because I was out of town that my dog beat her. And he's like, I'm not saying it's right, but my dog beat her. But I'm just saying, he's like, because there are people who, he's like, first of all, there are people who suffer from abuse, and you just lying is very make it hard for people to believe people who suffer from abuse, right? Then he said, I should have knew something was up with you because my mom doesn't like you. I was like, God damn it. And I think people kind of believe him more than they believe her is
I mean,
because
of
he brought
course, because it's his fan, so of course they
no,
gonna.
not before that. It was before her fan, even on her TikTok, because he doesn't do TikTok. She had more fans, TikTok fans. They said, yeah, we understand what you're saying, but we kind of believe his story more because of his when he said his mom doesn't like you. He's like, we kind of see that. He's like, because every person that he has been involved with, his mom is always love. He's like, it's not even because his mom doesn't like you. Is his brother doesn't even come to his house no more. It's like everybody who was close to him kind of distanced themselves from him.
Mm.
It's like And that is like that only happened when you came in the picture. So something's wrong out of this. He's like, there's something wrong out of here. And he's giving her, he's like, the funny part, he didn't even want an apology. He didn't want anything. He just said, he didn't care if you say, he's like, I don't care. Just take accountability. All he wanted was her to admit that she cheated. All he wants is to her to just say, yes, I cheated on him. That's all he wants.
They can't do that.
So he's a, so she did all this story, and he said, first of all, I paid for your nails and your mom's nails, and you were cheating on me with your ex-boyfriend. I spent $700 on Valentine's. And the worst part, he got pissed. I think the thing that pissed him off the most was she kept the Valentine picture, that the flowers that he got her, like the sun, I think it was a big bouquet of flowers that she got, right? She she didn't take down the whole post. She went to every picture that he on the, how you put multiple pictures on one post.
Mm-hmm.
She went on when she swiped, she only took the pictures that he was in it, but didn't take down the whole post. So he kind of got pissed off. I think that pissed him off the most. He's like, first of all, why did you keep the post up? I'm confused. He's like, I'm not confused. I know why you kept the post, because it had like one of your most liked posts. But if we broke up and I got you there, and you want nothing to do with me, right? That's what you're saying on your TikTok. Take down the whole post. Take down the whole post. Take down everything that he was adamant, right? Then I think he kind of says like, I should have seen this coming, because every time she used to say she's going to study with her friend. He's like, I know all her friends, and her friends, every time when I brought up study, they look clueless. He's like, I should have known that was something happening. He said, because she used to sleep. And the part that then he showed the text message that she was sharing with the boyfriend. I want to know, did the boyfriend send him the text messages? Because how does he have the text message that he sent to the boyfriend? Like, I
Probably.
want it, because I want the ex-boyfriend, because I'm like, man, she's getting played by both. They did a tech team, and they went crazy on you, because he's sending the text. She's saying, she said, I only see you. She said, I'm sorry for what I did in the relationship. I only see myself with you. And the boyfriend is like, I think the boyfriend, I don't know if the boyfriend responded, but he was only showing a side of the text. uh then he was like, first of all, you sending your boyfriend, at the same time you telling me you love me while we in bed. This is stupid as it's like, what type of evil witch are you?
She wanted both of them. She wanted both of them
man
until she did that.
man man, I don't know, man. Man, these females out here, man. Man, fame is a dangerous drug, man. We just saw Omale girl just went in circles, not getting to the point. She's just not getting to the point either. So when are we gonna get to the point? And that's my question. When are we gonna get to the point? Are we gonna ever get to the point in these stories?
No, we're never going to get to the point. We're
like,
never going
like
to.
I want to know, like, okay, I understand people are going to think I'm crazy or asking this. This is a legit question, though. I have a legit question, right? A very legit question. Uh, what do y'all gain, like, for, like, let's be honest. I want to know, like, I want to see it Instagram.
What do
That's
you
what
gain from being deceitful?
Yeah, like what do you get? Oh yeah, shout out. Wait, he's dating some boxer now. Ryan Garcia. I'm confused. Oh, shout out to Ryan Garcia, man. He's getting the fights done, man. I gonna lie. I
Yep.
now like him.
Yeah, him and Devin Haney is
Fighting April 20th. I like him now. I like Ryan because he's getting the fights done.
that's good. Somebody out there doing their thing.
I
Somebody
used
out
to
there
like
doing their
Tank.
thing.
I don't know. I think Tank should move away from Floyd for sure.
Wow, you think he cherry picking? He not focused? Why?
Uh, because the reason I think Floyd the well now I think I like the next fight that Tank is getting, but I think Tank because he's associated with Floyd and Floyd's team is more associated with the one Tank to make more money and get the easy fights, right? The
Mm-hmm.
reason why in most of these fighters now they're trying to move away from the Floyd era of making, Floyd just taking fights for, for money. Even though Floyd fought the best sometimes, but he fought them like on his time. Like when they were on both of them were out of their prime or Floyd was still, Floyd's style is different from Tank, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I believe for Tank to get the respect that he wants, that he deserves, because I'm telling the way I'm seeing it right now, Tank is not considered as the best because they call the 140 they call Tank's group the people that he came up with or came famous with the four horsemen, like the four horsemen of boxing, right? The young on the division, the 150, the 135 and 140, they call it the four horsemen. Tank is always they're ranking Tank last, and it's because of the opponents that he's taking.
You think they
And
easy knockouts?
yes,
Easy
he's
wins?
not he's not
I
taking the
mean,
he
he
only
fought Garcia.
the
He fought
I
some
think
of
the
them
only
dudes.
he only took the only opponent from the top the big the top the four horsemen is Garcia, and let's be honest, Garcia was more of the reason why that fight happened. It wasn't Tank. Tank needs to start saying, "I want these fights." Because if you watch it, like you see how other people like the old generation, the Mike Tyson, why they are like the older generation, why they're respecting Ryan is Ryan doesn't care more about his losses. He really doesn't care about the law getting a loss. He cares about his legacy, what he's doing for boxing, and that's what the fighters like. I think most of them as that. Well, that's why I think people in boxing respect Ryan because Ryan is saying, "I don't give a damn about my mm, you know about not having a loss. I already have a loss, right?"
Mm.
He said he doesn't care about that. He cares about legacy. And then somebody quoted Muhammad Ali, and they're like, this is why they feel like Tank hasn't felt. He's like Muhammad Ali. The reason why most of us think Muhammad Ali is the best to ever do it is when he took that first loss. He's like, y'all know what he said when he came back after the first loss. He said, I'm now more mean. I now know what he's like, I'm mean. He's like, the reason why he won that world title when he came back to the world title before they stripped him for, for uh, politics issues, right? Politics. It's like he had one loss, but he was more mean. He had tasted the defeat. He like I think that's I don't want Tank to taste defeat, but I think Tank needs to start fighting the top guys. He needs to stop taking like making, yes, he's the big draw, but he needs to stop taking fighters sometimes we don't know. I like what he did the last fight. He took Ryan Garcia. He's taking another top guy, the top ranked guy in his sanctioning body in Frank
Mm.
Money.
But you want him to fight like Bud and
Not
Boots
the
and all these
Bud,
other
but I
people.
want
Like,
I want him to fight like the people in his tier. Like how when he fought Ryan, even though we all knew Ryan was not on Tank's level, but we kind of knew Ryan was a big draw and Ryan can knock his knockout power, right?
mm,
I think he needs to fight people on that type of thing, like the Devin Haney, the Shakur Stevenson, the Teofimo Lopez. Because let's be honest, Tank is not young. He's not young as Ryan. So he's getting up in age. And the more he's taking these cherry picking fights, the more it's going to be hard for him for his fans to defend him when it comes to this the greatest to ever do it in that division. Because Tank number one he has never been undisputed. The reason why people think David Haney is better than Tank is because David Haney was undisputed at 135. Even though Tank was supposed to be the top guy, David Haney had all the belts. Tank never
also,
went for
Tank
the.
keep going in and out of jail. By the way, I just want to throw that in there. That's kind of, I don't know. Maybe his point isn't the same as everybody else. Like, I don't know. I don't know. Floyd's point was to be the best, but they say he cherry picked the whole time. But he still
But he
ended up with no losses. And he still ain't lose.
no, but even I think Floyd. I think people don't get it. I think people take Floyd style, but they don't get how Floyd got to that style. Because people,
I think people be hating. That's when hating was at an all time high, just like LeBron.
yeah,
I think the both of them get a lot of hate, and
but
they
I
were
think I think
really
Floyd.
great.
If a lot of people think that some boxing fans, I'm talking boxing fans in general, they don't kind of. It's more of what Floyd didn't do. What most boxing fans he didn't cherry pick, but he took fights that were
It was easy
fighters
at the
that
time that he took it, because
they
him
were
versus
easy.
Pacquiao was ass. But
But
if it
like,
would have
that's
happened a
that
couple years
years
before,
ago. Yeah,
it would
that's
have been a
what he
problem.
was. I think that's what people are saying. He's like he kind of waits until it dies down. And I think the other thing is because most young fighters are trying to do the Money Mayweather, but they forget that Floyd Money Mayweather didn't get to be Floyd Money Mayweather for because let's be honest, Floyd jumped divisions. We kind of look at Floyd as like, oh, Floyd was undefeated. He was this defensive player because he became a defensive player because a defensive boxer because Floyd, the division that he finally started fighting less, like more in, that was not his natural divisions.
Yeah, he
Like
was
the
in a smaller
waterweight,
divisions than that.
yeah, the waterweights, the 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 lightweights, the he's super light. He went to middleweight. Like that's not Floyd's division. Floyd went out 4 times. He moved up 4 times. He moved division 4 times. But if we go by Floyd's natural division that Floyd is technically was supposed to be in, Floyd is the great bro. That's Pretty Boy. People they forget that Floyd he didn't come calling himself Money Mayweather. It happened after he broke his hands like couple times. Then he was like, okay, now I gotta start boxing y'all now. But Floyd was Pretty Boy. That I think that's where people forget that Floyd, his name was Pretty Boy. And I think also now let's talk that I kind of goes to the point on me saying Tank gotta move away from Floyd as he was supposed to do before he got arrested.
Mm.
Like because he said, "Oh, I'm trying to build for my legacy." I think he needs to stand on business on that point of like, bro, I need to start fighting big names. And though I should start fighting people under Floyd. Like, let's be honest. I'll be honest with y'all. When I watch Tank, I'm like, okay, Tank is the best. But I'm like, okay, now when you watch Tank's resume, I'm like, okay, I don't see nobody on his division that I'm that are top tier, except for Ryan, except for it was Ryan and People Cruz. I forgot his. I don't know. He play, even though I don't even like People Cruz because People Cruz style is stupid. He's weird. I don't like his style, but he's a top name in that division. But because he likes to throw, oh, the reason why I don't like People Cruz is because he doesn't have boxing. He doesn't rely on boxing at all. So when you fight, he wants to knock you out. He tries to knock you out for no reason, and he doesn't know how to set up his punches. That's why he lost to freaking Tank when Tank had one hand. Tank broke his hand and still beat him with a broken hand. That's neither there. But when you see and Ryan is a bro. Ryan is bringing the old school. Like, I'm crazy. I'm just gonna take the big names. I don't care if I lose. Even though I don't think he's gonna. Now, I think he might lose, but I don't think he's gonna lose. Am I making my sense?
You think he might lose, but you don't think he's gonna lose. You're not betting against him, basically.
I'm not betting against him,
But it's
but
possible.
I'm not betting for him.
Yeah,
I'm just
it's possible.
neutral. Now, reason is now people will gonna say, "What you mean you're not betting against him? You're not betting for him?" Number one, I've seen David Haney. Do I like David Haney's style? No. Is he a good boxer? Yes.
Didn't Haney just have a bad match, like a terrible match, where he like
It was
ran the
not a
whole time,
ter-
but he still won, but like it was like a terrible match.
It was not. Well, David Haney's style. I've watched. I watched two fights, two two to three fights of David Haney. He's more of. He doesn't have power. David Haney has no power. I can tell you now. David Haney has no power at all. He has pillow. When people say, how some people in boxing they say some people like how they make fun of Floyd saying that Floyd had pillow hands. His hands were like pillow.
Mm-hmm.
David Haney has pillow hands. He doesn't have power.
Oh,
So David Haney, the first fight I saw him was against George Gambosa when he finally won the undisputed. David Haney relies on the jab. Like when he knows that he's up on points, David Haney doesn't fight. He will jab you to sleep. Like he would just throw the jab on if there was anybody, he would throw the jab. If he could, he would throw the jab every fight, every round and win. I think that's what he did against freaking Gambosa. Yes, he did. He threw the jab. I don't think he threw any other hand other than the jab. It was a jab straight, jab straight. That's it. That's David Haney. He knows how to fight from a distance. He uses his height to his advantage.
so they basically don't like him because he's not as entertaining.
He's not entertaining. Like then the fight he fought with Lomachenko, he won that fight, but everybody who watched the fight, they saw him. We all thought he lost that fight. I came on the podcast and said that was a robbery. That nigga he lost that fight because he didn't do shit. He was getting beat bad. He got beat.
He said he's gonna be bad.
But Lomachenko was touching that chin and he was touching it a lot. Like there was no block. He tried to block, but let me tell you, Lomachenko's nickname is the Matrix. He throws punches in angles, and he knows how to use them. So technically speaking, when I watched that fight, I thought Lomachenko won. The judges thought David Haney won. That's in here or there.
Mm-hmm.
But in this fight, I think the problem why I don't like David Haney is not about David Haney. Maybe it is because he became champion after he won those 4 belts. He became too loud for me. Is because the other thing is his dad. I don't like his dad. I don't like Bill Haney. I don't like him. I'm sorry, I don't like him at all. Every time he's David Haney fights, even though I know you're David Haney's trainer, why are you always almost fighting? You are in an altercation. You're about to fight. You about to do this. You about to do that. Can y'all one fight? Can we just have a peaceful press conference of you not just screaming, saying you're gonna fight this one, you're gonna fight that, you're gonna do this, you're gonna do that? Can we have a peaceful press conference? But uh the reason why I think Ryan Garcia can win is I think Ryan Garcia now more than ever, more than Ryan Garcia is different from the Ryan Garcia that we saw fight Tank is different from the Ryan Garcia that's
It's
gonna
fighting
fight
now.
Devin Hay.
Mm.
Because the one that fought Tank, number one, I'm not gonna come up here and give you excuses, but let's be honest. Ryan Garcia was not as full form as he has mentioned. He said he knew that he was gonna fight. He was gonna lose the fight before the fight even started, and he said I was okay with it. He's like the one time he caught Tank, he's like that's where I remember when I came up here and said why was he trying to throw so many punches in the second round against Tank? When I came up here and said Ryan Garcia was doing some weird shit
Mm-hmm.
in the second round, he
Yeah.
was trying. He came out and said, "Bro, I was trying." He's like, when I caught him one time, I tried to knock him out. He's like, I was like, I tried to knock him out. He's like, I tried my best to knock him out. He's like, that's what I tried. He's like, but but I in my head and in the voice, he's like, it was more of. He's like, I already knew I was gonna lose the fight, but he said I didn't know how. Plus, one thing, Ryan Garcia, he's since it's been like a year now or 2 years since he started being more vocal about his religion as Christ, Jesus Christ, God, right? He's been more vocal, and I think people took that as excuses, but I don't think it was more of an excuse. It was more of how he felt. I didn't take it as an excuse when he was on a podcast recently or a few months ago, or when he was explaining the fight with Tank. Right? He's like he was weak. He's like I didn't have any power. He's like I didn't have any power. I didn't have. People thought He's like the power I had, like when the power y'all knew me from, I didn't have it in that fight. I was like I knew that. He's like that's why when I caught him one time, I tried to knock him out. It's like he's like when I tried to knock him out and he dropped me, and he's like if you ask Tank, I told him in his ear, like yeah, come get me. He's like, bro. He's like, when he caught me and I dropped and I got up because he had said if he had, he's kind of explained like when Tank said something in the press conference, if I drop you like how Ryan got dropped before, he's gonna he's gonna come and get him. And Tank didn't do that. He went back and started running. And and people was like, oh, he's lying. That's not what we saw in the fight. I was like, man, I don't think he was lying because when Tank dropped him, I think Tank also was shocked when he hit him on the ribs. He kind of knew. I think Ryan kind of was like, "Okay, I'm not getting up," because he already had an injury on the ribs. But he said he knew. He's like he kind of knew he was gonna lose the fight because everything that he had planned for the fight, the workout on, remember that I said why people come in Christian songs.
Mm-hmm.
Ryan kind of said first that was not his actual song that he was supposed to come in into. He's like, that was not the plan.
He walked
He's
out
like,
to a Christian song.
he walked out to a gospel song called Oceans
Yeah, he asked for that ass.
because he said that was not the initial song that we were supposed to come out to.
The
He's like,
last
that was
thing
not.
that you need to bring is peace, love, God, any of that.
So he said,
Unity.
he
No,
said,
we about to fight, bro.
he said the he was Bad Bunny and Chris and Justin Bieber was supposed to bring him out, right?
That sound even worse. I ain't even gonna lie.
He's like, Bad Bunny and Justin Bieber was supposed to be his ring entrance, and both of them fell through the week of the fight. And he's like, bro, he's like, I stood there. He's like, I was right there. He's like, I don't know if it's true or not that a guy he asked God and God said, I want you to walk out with me, like like walk to the ring with me or something like that. I don't know if it was true, but he said he prayed and he was like, why is this happening? And he's like, he had like God's voice. I don't know if it's true, but he said he had God's voice say, because I want you to walk with me into that ring. And I'm like, and he said, go on YouTube. He's like, he went on YouTube. He was looking for what gospel song is, and when he saw when he heard Oceans, he's like, okay, I now know which song I'm coming on. He came out with Oceans. I and he said the lyrics. I was like, okay, I understand. He put his faith in God, even though he knew he was gonna lose. But he said now he's like, because of the bad business that he did with Tank, he's not gonna let bad business happen in any fight now. And and the other reason why I say, I want Tank to move out away from from Floyd is because this fight was supposed to happen in match. The Henny and Ryan Garcia. Because after Ryan, remember, Ryan Garcia just fought in December, right? Ryan Garcia fought in December. He went on the poll and he said, "Who do you want me to fight?" Right? Because he wanted, this is what he wanted to do. He wanted to go for against Rolly Romero, who lost to an old man, by the way. But that's another different day. Even though that old man, now looking at that old man can fight. It's just at the time we just thought he was an old man. The old man can box.
The old man
But
can box.
the old man can box. The
Mm.
old man just knocked out the number one. The guy was considered number one for the belt, the number one contender for the belt that Rolly he has now. That the old man lost to Rolly by a stoppage by freaking the ref for no reason. But the old man can box. Uh, he wanted to go. Ryan Garcia's initial plan was go for Rolly, right? Get the Rolly's belt. Then from Rolly's belt, he goes to David Haney. That was his initial plan. So he put it up on Twitter and said, which one? He put it up on Twitter and Instagram. He's like, which one do you want first? Because he had put it up, right? Because he said he had called out Haney and he had called out, you know, Rolly, right? And and people's like, why do you want to go for Rolly first? Just go for Haney. And he's like, nah, I want to go for Rolly to get the belt. Then I'll unify with Haney, right? That's what he was saying for Twitter. Then he's like, you know what? I'll let y'all choose. So everyone was like, we don't want the Rolly fight. We want the Haney fight, right?
Mm.
So he said, okay, cool. He tells his team, I think he tells Oscar De Hoya, him and Oscar have like their toxic relationship. He tells Oscar and them, he's like, yo, uh, he's like, Oscar, I want to fight David. So he went and said, okay, cool. He tells Oscar and them say, okay, that's what we're doing. He told his team that he wants to fight David. He puts it out, right? He tweeted out and said, oh yeah, guys, I already reached out. I told my team and advised them that I'm not taking any fights except I want this fight with David. David Haney picks. David Haney quote tweets is like, yeah, that I'm coming here to let y'all know this is true. His team has reached out to my team, so this fight is happening. So they negotiated. They already, I think, agreed to terms for the fight or something like that for March 20 something or something. Somehow, when that happened, or when they were in negotiating about the fight and the potential fight date, right? Ryan Garcia goes to somehow this way I say Floyd sometimes messes up people boxers' career legacies because Ryan Garcia goes to a run with Floyd, right, in Vegas. He comes back. He's like, nah, now I want to go for what? Rolly. He's like, I told my team now let's focus on the Rolly fight. And people's like, what happened? He's like, not just like 2 weeks ago, yeah, you were on the Henny, now you on Rolly. What happened? And most people kind of looked at the like, and when they started seeing pictures of him and Floyd, they're like, Floyd got in his ear. Floyd wants Rolly. Floyd wants the Rolly fight happen because Rolly's under Floyd. Rolly's under Manity. So when that happened, I guess his team was telling. I guess Rolly's team or Floyd was telling him the other thing. Rolly's team was telling. Floyd's team was like, "Oh yeah, this fight is happening." While Rolly's already booked for another fight. They're telling, "Yeah, this fight is happening in March." So what happens is, Ryan Garcia puts out a post on Instagram saying, "Me and Rolly is happening in March," and he puts out a potential date about the fight. But he said he doesn't know which website is gonna have the fight. Like, is it DAZN or Amazon Prime? When that happens, Rolly's fight gets announced. That
Mm-hmm.
Rolly's fighting Pitbull Cruz on the first pay-per-view on PBC's first pay-per-view on Amazon Prime. So somehow Ryan gets us like, clearly I was lied to, so I'm no longer trusting nobody. I'm now going with I want to do this myself. So he goes out. Oscar Oscar De La Hoya is like, nah, we want to fight. We got Ryan. He's gonna fight this guy. Ryan's like, I'm not doing that. I'm not fighting whoever this guy you want me to fight. Then he was like, let's try the Haney fight. Him and Haney talked again. Fight gets booked April 20th. Initially was supposed to be Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
Last week it got changed. It's like, no, we can't do Vegas no more. We go and do Brooklyn. He does. Ryan's like, how Ryan wants the Vegas fight. Then Haney kind of explains to him, is like, the reason why Vegas is not happening is Canelo. Canelo is kind of pulling the strings for us not to happen in Vegas. Now coming to Canelo is supposed to be fighting on May, fighting the other Charlo brother. That's not happening either
It
because
shouldn't happen the way he cooked the first brother.
he's fighting the brother the first brother was 154. He jumped 2 weight classes. The brother that he was about to fight is the brother that people wanted Canelo to fight at the first place. The natural bigger brother, the natural bigger fighter, they're twins. But the one who fights near in Canelo's weight class is the one that fights in Canelo's weight class that has fought and took punches from people in middleweight and super middleweight. So he was supposed. I guess they were in talks. I don't know what happened, but Canelo is out of his deal with PBC after one fight. He had a 3-fight deal, and more me personally, I'm telling you this. This is where I get pissed off at boxing. Boxing, y'all know that we just I I don't know if it's Canelo's fault, if it's PBC fault. I think it's Canelo. Canelo, you have robbed the people of Mexico of a great fight. You know why I'm saying this? There's a person who's was given a nickname by Iron Mike Thompson as the Mexican monster. Canelo, that person is in your division. David Benavides. Why don't why you keep ducking David Benavides? Like for real, like
Because you've
Canelo,
been
why?
fighting all these little brothers.
Yeah, why don't you fight the person who's been calling you out for years? The person who's your mandatory for
See, all the
years.
time, I don't think it's ducking. I don't think it's ducking. I think it gets labeled ducking, but it's not ducking all the time.
No, now this is
Y'all
the
be a little
you see,
hype. Y'all just be wanting
I'm not
certain
saying
fights to happen,
no,
and
no. This is
it's
the
not.
what when I say ducking is because Canelo in boxing there's mandatories, right? Like let's say for example, let's say you win a belt, right? When I win the belt, let's say I get in a fight, you have the belt. I get into a fight, a boxing match for like the mandatory. If I win the boxing match, I'm your mandatory. That means the belt company that holds the organization that you hold the belt for. Let's say I bought like replica belts. I have the let's say for example the most famous one that because Floyd had that belt for the longest, the WBC. You are the WBC. So if I'm your mandatory, the WBC will not allow you to go a whole year without fighting your mandatory. Like trying to get the fight with your mandatory happen, right? So Canelo hasn't fought his mandatory for 3 years, and David Benavidez has his mandatory for 3 years. But what happened with Canelo is he got privileged by the WBC and they switched his belt title into super. That means he doesn't lose his belt if he doesn't fight his mandatory for a year. Like how, for example, like the other brother who fought Canelo. Remember, he was undisputed, but when he finally, like they were saying, if he when he gets into the ring, he's gonna get one of his belt that taking away one of his belts. That brother, he fought his mandatory, but the the Canelo fight, he was supposed to fight his mandatory Team Zoo earlier that year, in last year in January, but he got injured during training camp. Then he was supposed to postpone the fight, but he said, "Nah, I don't want fighting no more. I want to fight Canelo." That's why he lost his belt.
Mm,
Canelo has been not trying. He has tried his best not to fight his mandatory David Benavidez for 3 years. That's why I say he's ducking,
mm.
because for 3 years
Yeah,
he
3 years is a pretty long time.
he hasn't fought his mandatory. And David Benavidez has went to PBC. He's like, why is he still holding his belt if I'm his mandatory and you're telling me I have to fight this, and get that, and y'all finally gave me the regular belt, but I don't want the regular belt because I'm not considered champion because Canelo has the one that y'all just elevated and made a new section, another belt for him, calling him the super champion. So that means he's still the champion, but I have another belt for no reason. So let me fight. They're like, oh, Canelo doesn't want to fight this. He wants to fight this guy. He wants to fight that guy. He wants to take that. It's a whole thing. That's why I say ducking. But without further ado, man, I think we have covered a lot of things. We covered relationship. We have covered boxing. We have covered everything. Next week, guys, we're gonna have a first guest on the new lay uh, layout or new structure of the podcast, like an interview style. So we're gonna come up here and say, man, if you like that, just let us know in the comments. But we're gonna say, man, I would like y'all, we like your support. Thank you for all the listeners from everybody who listen to our podcast. We have fans in Germany, in Belgium.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how we got a fan in Belgium, like fans in Belgium. That's crazy. But
Thank
that's
y'all
the
for the
only.
support.
Thank you for the support for the Belgian fans who listen us on Amazon Music, Spotify, Apple Music, Google Podcasts, whatever, wherever y'all listen to us. Thank you guys. Subscribe if you're new, drop a like, and we'll see you guys in the next video.
Peace.
Peace.